They stared down the most dangerous villains on screen, but time is the one opponent no one can outrun. From the gritty 70s icons to the muscle-bound titans of the 80s, you won't believe how these legends look today. Some have aged like fine wine, while others have completely vanished into a life of quiet obscurity, who stayed true to their tough guy roots until the very end. You won't believe who made it to number 1. Welcome back. Today we're counting down the 20 toughest actors in Hollywood history. We aren't just looking at their muscles, but their grit, their legacy, and their shocking transformations. But being tough often came at a price. Think of famous method actors like Marlon Brando, who lived their roles so intensely they nearly ruined their personal lives just to stay in character. Let's see who survived the grind of Tinseltown and who underwent a tragic transformation. Number 20. Charles Bronson, the ultimate death wish. Vigilante reached his peak of silent, brooding fury in 1974. Bronson was famous for his granite face and quiet intensity that made him a global superstar. He remained the quintessential tough guy until his passing in 2003, living his final years in a quiet Beverly Hills estate, a far cry from the gritty New York streets he patrolled on screen. Number 19. Pam Grier as the fierce Foxy Brown in 1974, she became the undisputed queen of action, performing her own stunts and taking no nonsense. She was the first woman to truly lead an action franchise with that level of grit. Grier has aged incredibly gracefully, surviving a stage 4 cancer diagnosis in the late 80s. Today, she lives on a ranch in Colorado, still taking powerhouse roles. Number 18. Steve McQueen, the king of cool, defined effortless grit in 1968's Bullitt as a real-life racer and a man's man who preferred the track to the red carpet. Though he left us tragically early in 1980 at just 50 years old, his image remains the gold standard for Hollywood rebellion, even in his final stoic days. Number 17. Lee Marvin, best known for the 1967 classic The Dirty Dozen. Marvin was a real-life World War II Purple Heart recipient who didn't need to act tough. He worked steadily until his death in 1987, and while the tough guy exterior softened in his final years in Arizona, he never lost that piercing, steely gaze. Number 16. James Caan. He became a household name as the volatile Sonny Corleone in 1972's The Godfather, a role that required explosive physical energy. Caan enjoyed a shocking career comeback in the 2000s, and before his passing in 2022, he remained a hilarious, sharp-tongued legend who never lost his edge. Number 15. Burt Reynolds, the mustache that ruled the 70s, peaked with Smokey and the Bandit in 1977, where the former college football star performed legendary stunt work. Despite years of health battles resulting from those very stunts, he made a poignant final transformation, working right up until his passing in 2018. Number 14. Mickey Rourke, the heartthrob of 1986's 9.5 Weeks, was Hollywood royalty until he walked away to become a professional boxer. A shocking comeback in The Wrestler earned him an Oscar nod, and today he is known for an eccentric style and a face that tells the story of every fight he's ever been in. Number 13. Linda Hamilton. She redefined the female action lead as the shredded Sarah Connor in 1991's Terminator 2, training with commandos to get that tough-as-nails look. Hamilton retired quietly for years before a shocking comeback in 2019, proving that 60-plus is the new prime for a warrior. Number 12. Gene Hackman, the gritty Popeye Doyle in 1971's The French Connection, was the definition of a hard-nosed, working-class actor with a reputation for being tough on set. Hackman retired completely in 2004 and is now living a quiet life as a novelist, avoiding the Hollywood spotlight entirely at age 96. Number 11. Danny Trejo, rising to fame as the ultimate bad guy in 1995's Desperado. Trejo's real-life story is harder than any script, involving years in prison before finding redemption. Trejo has aged into a beloved icon and successful entrepreneur, proving you can be tough and still have a heart of gold. Number 10. Kurt Russell, in the 1981 cult classic Escape from New York. Russell created the ultimate cynical anti-hero in Snake Plissken. Russell has aged incredibly gracefully, still headlining westerns and blockbusters while remaining the rugged, cool guy of the industry. Number 9. Sigourney Weaver. She took on the xenomorph in 1979's Alien and became the first lady of sci-fi toughness, redefining gender roles in film. Weaver remains Hollywood royalty today, moving from timeless beauty to a powerhouse presence in the massive Avatar franchise. Number 8. Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels, peaked in 1988 with Bloodsport, becoming a global sensation for his incredible martial arts prowess. While he's faced personal struggles, he's currently experiencing a self-aware comeback, and yes, he's still doing those famous splits in his 60s. Number 7. Bruce Willis. The everyman hero John McClane changed action movies forever in 1988's Die Hard by being a relatable tough guy. Following a tragic health diagnosis that forced his retirement, Willis has stepped away from the spotlight, leaving behind a legacy of unbeatable grit. Number 6. Dolph Lundgren. The man who must break you in 1985's Rocky IV is actually a genius chemical engineer in real life. Despite a private 8-year battle with cancer, he stayed incredibly fit and continues to star in action hits, proving he's a fighter in every sense of the word. Number 5. Harrison Ford. Whether as Han Solo or Indiana Jones in 1981, Ford mastered the grumpy but tough persona. He's still a leading man today at over 80 years old, having aged into a rugged, elder statesman of cinema who still flies his own planes and takes no prisoners. Number 4. Sylvester Stallone. Rocky and Rambo made him the face of physical endurance starting in 1976. Stallone has defied the aging process through sheer willpower, currently starring in Tulsa King and looking just as imposing today as he did in his boxing trunks decades ago. Number 3. Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Terminator reached his peak physique in 1982's Conan the Barbarian, changing the way Hollywood looked at action stars forever. Now a global elder statesman, Arnold is still hitting the gym daily, proving that the Austrian oak never truly ages. Number 2. Chuck Norris. The man, the myth, the legend of Walker, Texas Ranger has been a symbol of toughness since the 70s. At over 80 years old, Chuck Norris looks like he hasn't aged a day since the 90s, remaining a fitness icon and proof that some legends are simply invincible. Number 1. Clint Eastwood. Dirty Harry himself defined Hollywood toughness for over 6 decades as the ultimate survivor of the studio system. At 96 years old, he is still directing and starring in films. His transformation from a young gunslinger to a silver-haired master is the greatest legacy in cinema.